So, I didn't see this movie until very recently. I heard the buzz, of course. Critically, it received acclaim, although, like any A24 production, there was quite a bit of polarization too, and many felt to release a film like this in the current climate was downright irresponsible. Now, maybe it's the contrarian in me, but anytime a movie inspires passionate dislike from people, I try to give it a chance, try to see the value in it. It did actually come to my local theater, but I was a bit busy marrying the woman of my dreams and ended up missing it. I don't know if there's anything I can add to the conversation, but after watching the movie, currently streaming on Max, I feel compelled to say something because Lord knows the movie didn't. Civil War is almost impossibly bad. Not only a genuine nail in the coffin for the once promising filmmaker Alex Garland, but a waste of time for everyone involved, including the viewer. I truly cannot fathom how it is possible to take a concept this incendiary and make a movie this lifeless and timid with it. Now, I want to make it clear that I'm not one of those assholes who clutches pearls every time a film has a message or, quote, gets political. I actually quite enjoy seeing different perspectives and ideologies than my own explored in fiction. The problem with this movie is that it's utterly empty. It's a basic action thriller with no deeper meaning or idea behind it. And maybe I'd have forgiven that if not for the hype around it, but this movie just doesn't deserve passionate analysis because seemingly no thought was put into it. Putting aside that monumentally stupid line in the trailer of the California Texas alliance, yeah, shockingly, this was made by a British person, but Civil War is shy. It's afraid. We never learn the cause of the conflict, nor the goals of the fascistic government run by President Ron Swanson. Why? Because that would require saying something, and the movie has no interest in that. And the reason that bothered me is there's every opportunity to explore so many interesting ideas. There's a lot of provocative imagery here, as advertised. The down attack helicopter in the empty mall parking lot is a striking visual, but the movie doesn't chew on any of this. I mean, what brought America to this point? What does this dire future say about the present? That's storytelling 101. You don't just leave that on the table. And in its quest not to offend anyone, Civil War ends up completely unmemorable. And this central rot is bothersome, but it's far from the only problem. It's not just a lack of any deeper meaning, this movie is from top to bottom brainless. The characters behave inconceivably, the music choices feel like that of a 14-year-old boy crying in his room, and the dialogue is on par with a sci fi channel original movie, which incidentally, this film is on about the same intellectual level as. What this feels like to me is Alex Garland wanted to make a film about war photographers and journalists, but was too lazy to do any actual research and just shit out some half baked, what if it was in the future idea. Now, as I said, the directing is better than the screenplay. There are some neat visuals, and the technique of intersplicing the photographs into action scenes is a cool gimmick. But it's just that, a gimmick, and this movie wastes some great actors. The normally reliable Wagner Moura, who's excellent in Narcos and recently in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, is hopelessly unconvincing as the cynical leader of the group. Every line of his feels like some executive said, "Not edgy enough, redo it." And rising star Kaylee Spinney gives her only outright bad performance, which again reflects pretty badly on Garland, since, as a reminder, this is someone who emerged from Pacific Rim 2 largely unscathed. And funnily enough, there is one big positive, but it's one of those things that almost makes the rest of the movie worse. Yes, what you've heard is true. Kirsten Dunst is fucking amazing in this. Sometimes I feel like everybody got one of those Men in Black neuralizer things and they forgot that she's a genuinely great actress. I mean, what? Nobody remembers Interview with the Vampire or the Spider Man trilogy or that season of Fargo she was in? But she is the only one here who genuinely elevates the material in a performance that I think deserves some love from the Academy. And it's the only thing that keeps this affair from swirling down the toilet bowl. Her character is one you've seen a million times before, the tough, seen it all journalist who gets challenged by an adventure and forced to re examine their worldview, but goddamn, Mary Jane sells the hell out of it. There are very few things worse than a movie that thinks it's more incisive than it actually is. And let me tell you, even Free at Home, a noxious blend of Terrence Malick's self importance and Bruce Willis direct to DVD movie incompetence, is a bad time. Kirsten Dunst is good enough to be worth 4 points. She is that good. But the rest of this is a total drag. In a year filled with films that mostly land in the it's fine pocket, Civil War is foobar. Gets a 4 out of 10. This is T Quentin 1, signing out.